Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.
12 minutes to 8 in the morning on this magnificent Monday morning out there. It is a beaut day, I have to tell you. It's a cracker. And, of course, we're heading for a top of about 22 to 23 degrees, 5 degrees at the moment. Been a little chilly to start, but hey, listen, you know, it's the western part of the state. It's good stuff. Let's head west out to Dubbo. Mayor Matthew Dickerson, good morning.
Well, we should be getting to 24 degrees out here, so I can top you by a couple today.
Good lad, and thank you very much indeed for talking to me. I appreciate it. You had a little visit, a sojourn down to Bathurst, and I take it that they looked after you very well, did they?
They did. You just got to talk up a bit, though, because my eardrums are bursting after being at the races all day on Sunday. But that is a great event for Bathurst, and what I really do encourage amongst all the different regional areas and certainly different mayors and different council areas is to get out and experience some of the things that happen in other regional areas. I love the fact that we've got Bathurst. It doesn't have to be in Dubbo. The fact that you've got Bathurst means that people come over the big sandstone curtain, Kerry, so they discover regional areas. If they discover Bathurst today, then who knows? Next time they might discover Orange or they might discover Dubbo, but they realise that we've got this wonderful environment out here. But 200,000 people to the races over the event, that's fantastic. It's really back better than ever after some COVID interruptions.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, now you've got a forum. What on The Voice coming up?
We've got a forum on The Voice tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 6 p.m. We've talked about this a lot at Council. We didn't think it was appropriate for Council to have a position on The Voice. We don't think it's appropriate for Council to tell people how they should vote, but we think education is incredibly important. So we've got a forum together. We've got two people that are going to speak on a yes campaign, two people that are going to speak on a no. We've got a moderator, and we've got an open audience. This is at the Dubbo Regional Theatre and Convention Centre. You can come along, sit there, you can submit questions beforehand, you can ask questions on the night. And I think it's really important that people do get educated. Obviously, pre-polling has already started. The big day is this Saturday. Make sure that whatever way it goes, people at least have been educated around which way they're going to vote. So we think that's important to be educated on it.
Very much so. Now, also, you're looking at community battery. Are you looking at that at the moment?
We are looking at that. We've had a few people ask about community batteries, and Dubbo is in a fantastic position to have a community battery, because for a community battery, you want lots of solar panels. You want good solar penetration. A couple of years ago, Dubbo hit the number one spot as the number one solar connector per capita in the nation. So we're great from that perspective, but it's complicated, a community battery, getting the right number of houses, getting the right environment, getting more connected into a community battery. So I was at a conference recently and there was a person who spoke about this, so I contacted him. I've gone through a process with him. He's directed me to another company to talk to them. Now I've got to go and talk to Essential Energy. It's a complicated process, and I have found some other examples in the nation where people have got together for a community battery and just working through the process there. All of these things around renewables, there's lots of excitement around there, but it's all very new, Kerry. So trying to work out how the landscape goes together is the real challenge.
Yeah. Now, also, you've been talking about energy this week as well, too, haven't you, with a special person?
Yeah, the Australian Energy Infrastructure Commissioner, a gentleman by the name of Andrew Dyer. He's been employed by the federal government to give a report back to the Federal Minister for Climate Change and Energy, Chris Bowen, about the way various proponents engage with community around renewables, and that's a real challenge. You want to make sure they engage properly, they have good discussions with the community, what works for the community. But if you take our renewable energy zone, for example, there are 37 different projects that are going to occur that have already started or at various levels of planning in our area. And you've also got Energy Co, which is a part of the New South Wales government, doing the construction of the transmission lines. So it'd be fair to say that maybe some people will be a bit engaged out. I'm just trying to think of a good way to put that, but basically too much engagement, too many people are talking to them, too many people are actually having those discussions, and what do they really mean? So the federal government's keen to make sure engagement that happens is meaningful but not too much and getting the right outcome. So it was a good discussion with Andrew, and actually he had a discussion with a few mayors around the nation to try and get that right mix of engagement and not basically wearing people out.
Yeah, from what you're saying there, I take it that you're a bit of a fan that a lot of the regional areas like yourself and, you know, Bathurst and Orange and so on, have really got to start thinking about looking after themselves as far as some form of power transmission goes.
Not so much looking after themselves. I think it's important to grasp every opportunity. One of the things that people say to me is, how do we stop these renewables? And I've kind of said the joke that you may as well stand at the edge of the ocean and build a little sandcastle and try and stop the tide coming in. You're not going to stop the renewables, but what you've got to do is work out how to take advantage of them. And that's absolutely our approach to it. We're in a renewable energy zone. That wasn't our decision, but it's there. Let's make sure that we maximise the money. I mean, they're talking about somewhere in the vicinity, Kerry, of $20 billion being invested by the proponents, then EnergyCo on top of that. So let's make sure that our community, our residents, some of the businesses, let's make sure they're getting their little pieces of the pie as well. We don't want to be providing, at the end of it, 42% of the power for this state will come from our res. We don't want to be providing 42% of the power and our residents didn't get some sort of benefit out of that.
Thank you for your time again, sir. Really do appreciate it. You have a good week and a good weekend.
Thank you very much, Kerry. Talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Mayoral Memo with Mathew Dickinson from Dubbo Regional Council.